Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Talks with Tabitha, and I'm super excited to be here this evening with you guys. We're going to talk all about getting your house ready to sell. And if you come on here, tell me what you're doing this Tuesday evening and tell me hello. Tell me what you guys are doing. Hello, Cindy. I see somebody on here. Yay, I'm live. Okay, I can get started. I am super excited to talk about this subject. I am getting tons of people asking me about selling their houses. I think with the market being so hot and all the things, people are like, woohoo, we're ready to sell our house, or at least potentially look at that. And I think people are asking us all different types of questions about selling maybe potential grandmother's houses or aunts and uncles, houses that they've inherited, all these different things. So they're like, what do you think about all this? Hi, Joan. Hi, Kay. Come on here and say hello. I'm super excited to see you guys tonight. I thought, you know, what a better way to do this is just to do this on a live, because there's so many of you guys asking this. So one thing I want to tell you is I'm going to go over some different steps and different things that I recommend you to do when you're going to put your house on the market. Some of the things that I want you to do before you put it on the market. And if I don't answer all your questions, then come down here below, right below us here, and tell me what you're wanting to hear more of so that I can get all your questions answered tonight. And hopefully, if there's a lot of questions, then I'll go back and do another live for you guys. Okay, I'm super excited to get ready. These questions are things that I honestly think about when I'm going through and we're talking to people about selling their houses, because like I said, the market is super hot. So this is the first one. List your home with the right price. And I think a lot of people are talking about this because the market is so hot. They're like, houses are just selling for so much more and they're just getting so much more for their houses. And that is true. Their houses are selling for more. And I think the market is hot. Who knows how long that will last, but this is amazing. I think it's great, especially if you're wanting to relocate. This is a great time to sell your house. If you're wanting to sell your home and downsize, hey, you're in the right part, because this is a perfect time for you to sell your home and get more cash out of that. But let's be honest, if you're wanting to sell your house and you're potentially wanting to buy more or equal to the same house, this is kind of the trickier part, because people are all saying, well, houses are selling for more and I can go and get more out of my home and then we can go buy. But you got to remember, if you're going to go buy another house at the same or equal to it, you're going to be paying more. So it's just basically a trade-off. So you have to keep that in mind. And I really want to stress that, because if you're going to be paying more for these homes, and especially if they don't price out, then lenders are not going to lend on those homes. So you're going to have to come up with and free up that cash somewhere else. And people are not seeing that. And then they come back and they're like, well, we had to come up. We have to come up with 20,000 or 30,000 or 15 or whatever it may be that you have to come up with. So I really, really stress that to people, because people are, just because you want that out of your house doesn't mean that you're going to get that out of your house. Okay. So that's the first thing, is list your home for the right price. That is so important, especially if you're really needing to get out of your home. That is so important to get the right price out of it. So that kind of goes along with the second one. Work with top realtors. Now, I really want to say this because I'm really good friends with being in this being in this industry as I am. This is one of my subjects that I love. I love real estate. I love all the people that do it. Most of them are very professional. They all have their places. But I think a lot of people have this thought that all realtors are the same, and that is not true at all. A lot of them have their niche. They have this thing where they all do certain different things. Some have some of them sell lower income homes or more affordable homes is what I like to say. Some do a moderate type home, and then some do luxury homes. They all have their things that they're specialized in. So it's really important to know wherever you're trying to buy. Some even do foreclosure homes. Some even do all different types of places where they're at. So when you're buying your home, when you're trying to sell your home, it's really important that you're working with the right realtor on that, because a lot of us just think, oh, just pick one, they'll be right. And that's not true at all. I work with a lot of people on this, and they'll say, Tabitha, which one do I pick? Well, really, it depends on your house and what price range you're at, and who is really good at that price range, and all the different things, and where you're buying at, and all those things. So I hope that's helpful to you, because not all the realtors do all the same things, if that makes sense to you. Okay, I hope this is helpful to you guys. Thanks, guys, coming on here. This is exciting. There's a bunch of you guys. Okay. Taking a professional picture makes a huge difference. Now, I really want to talk about this, guys, because I will tell you, if you're in my elegant community, if you even remotely even kind of come on any of my lives, or you do any of this stuff, you are going to hear me say this more than once. Taking a picture is so important, because where we sell houses is completely different than what we used to sell houses. How we used to sell them are completely different. You know, back in the day when Jason and I first got married and we were looking for our very first home, I remember taking out we'd get the newspaper, and we would take out the Sunday paper, and we would go through the Sunday paper, and we would look at the houses that were in our price range and which ones were going to be open on Sunday, and then we would go through the houses and we'd tour them like that. Those days are long gone now. Where people sell their house are social medias, hands down. I mean, people will go through social medias. There's realtor.com. Everything is online. So if you are thinking that all you have to do is just clean up your house one time, and that's it, that's all you have to do when they come, that is not true, my friends. You have to definitely make sure that you take really good photos. And I can't stress this enough. Everything that you do and everything that you're going to sell from outside in, you're going to take really good photos. So a lot of you, I don't have to take the professional photos to sell a house now. Jason and I don't, but I've been doing this for many, many years. But for people like that just are selling their home, I definitely stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. Taking professional pictures is well worth the money, hands down. It will just make your house look good. It'll make it look professional. It'll be clean and crisp photos when they're online, because people are going to get on these at night, and they're going to be scrolling through, and they're going to decide by those photos whether they're going to even look at your house or not look at your house. And I know this is funny, this is crazy, but people will go on there and not even looking for houses, and they will see a house and they'll decide to buy a house just by those photos. Oh my gosh, I wanted a pool. Oh my gosh, this has 6 bedrooms. Oh my goodness, look at that master closet. People buy houses on social medias all the time just by looking at them. So if you think that you don't have good photos, that's a lie. The photos are the thing that are going to sell your home. Okay, so I can't stress that enough, okay? Take those professional pictures if you're thinking about selling your house. Okay, that gets me down to this, guys. This is the big kicker here. Depersonalizing and decluttering. You're going to hear this. I know everybody talks about this. Every realtor you're going to get in your house, they're going to say depersonalize, depersonalize, declutter, take out. They say to take out of 1/3 of everything in your house. So every single room, you need to take 1/3 of everything out of your home. And that is true. When I go through people's homes, when I'm staging them, when Jason and I are looking at them, I think it was last week we went through one home, and they're wanting to sell it. It was a rental home. They had a renter there, and they're wanting to really sell it. They're just wanting to get it on the market, and they're wanting to be done with it. The biggest thing that I can say is that when you're taking pictures, pictures don't lie, first off. When you're looking for your social medias, they don't lie. So you have got to make sure that those pictures look good. So when you're decluttering and depersonalizing is not just family photos, okay? It means that you have lived in that house, or you have lived in your home, or the people that are living there, whether it's a rental or it's your grandmother's home, your aunt's house, whoever you're trying to sell, you live in that home. You don't realize that you go by every time you come home, you put the things on the counter, there's stacks of bills, there's all those things. You are, what am I trying to say? You are depersonalized it from all those things that you don't even realize you're not even seeing. Does that make sense? If you're in my elegant community, which I know, Barbara, you are, I talk about this. Sometimes we live in our homes and we don't even realize what we have in our homes. We just need a fresh eye to come in there and tell us what we've got going on. But we just are so used to just going in there and doing our thing and living in our homes that we don't depersonalize. So that's what they're talking about. Yes, they are talking a little bit about personalized photos and things like that, but they're more talking about that, you know, the stacks of bills and your tennis shoes laying right by the front door. And they're talking about, you know, maybe if you have, let's say stacks and stacks of magazines and things like that, things that you want to make sure that are not in the photos. You want to really make those photos look like somebody wants to live there. And I think it's so important to remember, guys, that when you're selling your home, the number one thing you want people to do, is what? Fall in love with your home. And it's really funny to me because women, they say, anywhere you read, if you read magazines, you read articles or anything, women fall in love with the house in 10 seconds when they get there from the very front door. Isn't that funny? 10 seconds. So what that tells me, as soon as you pull into the driveway, everything needs to be nice and pretty and tidy. The paint colors, the landscaping, the lawn being mowed, all those things. If it's wintertime, you need to make sure that everything's kind of clean and clear. All those things need to make a big difference because 10 seconds from a woman stepping inside the home. So then you get to the entryway. You're talking about smells and all the things, all those things. You will fall in love with the house. So you have to make sure that you don't have all your things there that you don't want anybody to see. So depersonalizing it means decluttering it, means turn on the lamps, make it really bright and cheery and all the things. So that is so important because when you see that, you know, I guess that pair of underwear in the living room that wasn't supposed to be in the living room which we all live in our houses, I understand completely. You got to get those. You got to clean your house every single time you leave it. You got to make sure that that's depersonalized and basically just taking yourself out because only thing that they can fixate on are the things that are wrong. That which leads me to the next thing. Lots of people ask me all the time, Tabitha, what sells a house is your kitchens and your bathrooms. So do we go into that? And it's really hard to say that on a Facebook Live, and it's all completely different for each individual person. It depends on how much money you owe on the house and things like that, whether you should go into big budget things, like renovating a kitchen or renovating a bathroom. It all depends on the individual person, if that makes sense. So what I say this, and I can only stress this enough, is that when buyers are coming into your home to give you prime price, what would you pay for it? I really think that that's one reason that having a stager come into your house or a fresh set of eyes or a realtor is really good because it's so important to see once somebody picks up on, let's just say, when you start coming up and there's, the paint is chipped on the front door and then they come in and then they see a little, the floors are kind of dirty and they're kind of aged and they're cracked and things like that on the hardwood floors, things like that. What's going to happen in that buyers is they're going to start adding it up. Things are going to start looking. They're going to start looking for things that are bad in your home. And guess what? The very first thing they're going to do is they're going to start wanting things to go off and they're going to want you to price. They're going to want the price to go down. So the first thing that I want to say is just try to make everything as seamless as possible. Make everything as clean as possible. If the paint looks like it's a little chipped, paint that room, get it painted. If it looks a little dirty, get it cleaned up. If you can make all those things look as seamless as possible, if you can make somebody fall in love with their house, then it's perfect. So what I say is, once again, take a picture. Take a picture of your house before you ever list it and see if you can fall in love with it. If it looks really inviting and warm and all those things to you, then it's going to look warm and inviting to your buyer, which gives you more money in your pocket. So that's super important to remember those things. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. And that's what they're talking about is decluttering and depersonalizing your house, is getting rid of those things. Kind of like going in, cleaning your closets. Nobody wants to open a closet door, which I have them. I know, I'm not saying that, like your pantry, things like that, and things start falling out at you. There's nothing worse than that when you're showing a house for your realtor and things start falling out at you. Nobody wants that because people are like, oh, they don't have enough storage. That's immediately what they think. So you would definitely want to cut that all down and take those and get a storage unit or whatever you need to do to be able to put that stuff away. Does that make sense? I hope that's making sense for all of you. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next thing. If you have any other questions about that decluttering and depersonalizing, let me know below, okay? So we're gonna go to the next thing. Clean for showings. I see this all the time. Once you finally get the buyer in there, you've got it all pretty. You've got the pictures going, you've got them in there, you've got the paint going, they're loving your house, and then they come to the house and it doesn't look anything like the pictures. Wah, wah, wah. They're gonna be fully disappointed. They're gonna just be like, this doesn't look like anything that showed online. I've heard this many times. You definitely want to keep the house exactly the way you posted it, okay? Does that make sense? You have to keep up with that. It's almost like you don't live in your home when you're trying to sell it, which is really bad, and I know a lot of people are like, that's such a bummer, and it is a bummer, but it'll give you more money for your home. So that is super important. Every time somebody's coming in to see or show your house, clean it up, turn the lights on, light those candles, pick all the underwear up off the floor, pick up all the socks up off the floor, do all that stuff, and you will be shocked how fast your house sells, okay? No matter what the price range is. This is all for every single person, no matter what your price range you're asking for. These are tips for everybody. Okay, I'm gonna give you one other advice here. It's a big one. I see this and I go into all kinds of homes. All kinds of homes, guys. And people ask me all the time, but there's nothing worse than bad smells. One time, I gotta tell you this. One time I went into this house and